Hey guys, and welcome to another Top Table Wargaming YouTube video. This is just a bit of an announcement video. I thought it was better to do this visually rather than type a load of stuff onto Facebook and what have you. It's a lot easier to do this. Status rings. As a lot of you know, I've been kind of supplying status rings for the past 12 to 18 months now. I kind of come up with this idea as these little gaming aids that just help you in game to remember things, especially if you're playing horde armies, you've got high points games. Sometimes it's hard to remember what's done what on the board, what's immobilised, what's transfixed, what's laid down, especially if you don't like laying your models down. So I come up with these rings. The rings fit perfectly around an infantry base, like so. So let's just say, for example, this Mordor Orc captain ends up prone for one reason or another. Rather than laying your model down, you know, nobody likes doing it. A, you've spent a lot of time painting it, you don't want to scratch it. And B, then when it comes to, you know, if he's getting charged, where do you charge? Do you charge his weapon? Do you charge his back? You know, you don't know where to charge. I know he loses his control zone, but he still should take up the same space on the battlefield. So if you put one of these on, you know, you can still charge in, etc. They're made to fit around infantry bases, like I say. But if you've got like a larger model, like a cavalry model, you know, you can pop them over the top like so. They're not heavy, they're a very, very light perspex, like plasticky material, very light. They're not going to scratch your models, so you can place them on top. Same with monsters, you can place them around weapons, around protruding arms, helmets, war gear, etc. And it's just something visually on the battlefield that'll remind you of what's going on without you having to, you know, laying that down. That could be surrounded by tons of models and then having to lay it down and work out what's where. It's just a pain, whereas if you can just pop a marker on it, yeah, troll's prone, done. You don't have to move anything else. Dead easy. Makes life so much easier. Makes the games flow better. A lot of you have already got these, so I may be preaching to the choir here, but I do get messages, and I have got a few messages from attendees for the league opener in January, which I'm lucky enough to hold, asking if I'm going to have some of these at the event. I will. I've just got a restock, and it's a limited amount of stock. I don't want to end up being stuck with loads of these rings, because a lot of, like I said, I've shifted a loads of them. Loads of you guys have got them. So the rings are £10 for a pack of 10, and in the pack you get 7 of the red prone, 1 of the blue immobilised, 1 of the green stroke yellow transfixed, and 1 clear failed courage. So they're £10 for a pack of 10. Plus postage and packing unless you're collecting, and that's those. There's just something else whilst I was doing the video. You know, I've kind of been working on these, and I thought I may as well take this opportunity to show you. Is these little fellas. Now, sometimes what I'll do is I'll get these out and show you what they are. They're basically exactly the same. So they're the same statuses with a couple of extras thrown in there, which I kind of realised would come in very, very handy. But they're not full rings, as you can see. They're just partial rings. Yeah, they've still got the same curvature on, so they still fit perfectly up against the edge of your infantry bases. They're that small that if you do have a cav model, yeah, let's just say there, you know, you can still pop it up against the side like that to let you know of the status, or you can just pop it on the base. And away you go. And it's exactly the same with the monsters. You can pop it up against the side, or you can just pop it on the base if you don't have the rings. Obviously it's ideal to have both of these. Again, I've got these produced for my own personal use, but I know if the rings are anything to go by, as soon as I start using these at tournaments and in bat reps, I'm going to get inundated with messages, so I thought I'd show them to you. So the reason that I've done this, I'll show you. Let's just open a packet of the rings. Now these are fantastic for the reasons that I've already mentioned. If you've got a load of models like so, yeah, you've got a combat here with the troll and Toriel. Toriel loses the combat, the troll chooses to hurl, hurls her a full 6 inches, she ends up back here, prone. These all get knocked down, prone. Again, this is where I'm saying it's just so much easier to have these. Yeah, these are all prone. You can see a massive hurl line there of red markers where that hurls come off. The problem that you have or problems arise, I found, with the rings. Well, they're not massive problems because you can still use them when your models are all ready. I'll just show you, sort of base to base. So if you've got like a very compact squad like that, tutorial gets hurled through. Obviously then you can't put the rings around the bases. So I've been just hanging them off the models, which is fine. Again, you know, no problems there. But me being me, I wanted to come up with something that would work a little bit better. So I've come up with these. So, you know, these are not all prone, the mix, but I'm just going to use the different statuses just to show you what I mean. So all these would be prone, and you just pop one of the markers against the edge of the bases, slide it up, and away you go. Yeah, I know the two at the end are not prone markers, and it's just a visual thing to show you. And you know, if they stand up, you just pull them away, and away you go. The statuses that I've got for these, which are different than the rings. I'm not going to do the rings and the other statuses. I'm just going to keep them as they are. If there's enough demand for them, I may do, but I'm just going to keep them as they are for now. So the extra statuses which are on these, which I'll tell you about now, will only be available in the partial markers. So again, we have red prone, which are there. You have again the blue immobilized, the green stroke yellow transfixed, the clear failed courage. I mean, the failed courage ones are awesome, especially if you're fighting fell beasts and monsters or anything terrifying, and you got like Lake Town, like I have. A lot of these failed courage markers are going to come in very handy because you're moving so many models and you forget who you've took courage checks for. So they're very, very handy. The two sort of new statuses which I've put on these is a white moved. It says moved on it, and the reason that I do that, again, because I play a lot of Goblin Town, I play a lot of Lake Town. You have a lot of models, and you don't necessarily always, you know, go in a uniform manner. So you don't always say right, well, I'll start here, I'll start moving these, I'll move my way around, move. Sometimes you'll move some here, then you'll go over here and move some, and you know, you need to move things out of the way. And if there's any that are like in a position where you may forget that you've already moved it, these are fantastic. So that's a moved marker. You know, heroic combats as well, to remind you what you've moved and what you've not moved. And the second extra status is charged. I've brought these into play because there's a lot of rules now for basically lance rules, the rules for the war goats, Hilda Bianca's special rule. These will let you know who's charged and who's been charged. So if you've got that special rule in your army and you charge with some, but then you countercharged, some of your other armies countercharged, and they're not all, you're not going to get that bonus for them all. So you need to know who has charged and who hasn't, and this is just a handy way of doing it. Again, not just for that rule, you know, just to remind you about your lances and things like that, that you will get any bonuses to do with charging. These will remind you of them bonuses when it comes to the combat phase or the wound phase, or whichever the rule may alter, shall we say. So that's those. These are slightly cheaper than the rings for obvious reasons, but not as cheap as you'd think, because they have to be made. The rings are just made as rings. These have to be made on a sprue. I don't know why. The people that I get my bits and bobs off would only do them on a sprue, so I have to buy these in multiples of 10 on a sprue, so it uses still quite a bit of the perspex. So the rings for a pack of 10 in the statuses that I've already described are £10 plus postage and packing. The quarter rings, as I've started to call them, are £8 plus postage and packing. But the difference with the quarter rings, I will do, you still get 10, but I'll do 10 of any, with the rings it's 7 prone and the other 3 singular. With these, you let me know what you want and I'll put them in the bag. So you can make that 10 up. You could have 10 all prone, you could have 10 all moved, you could have 10 all charged, you could have 2 charged, 1 moved, 1 failed courage, 1 transfixed and the rest prone. Whatever you want, I'll do, because I have to buy them on sprues anyway, so I'm going to have spares, and I'm just one of them guys. I like my army box to be full of these because I've started to use them a lot in game. So that's basically it. They're the new markers. One of the other things that I want to show you that are back in stock also, ignore the design, well, don't ignore the design actually, but is these, the measuring FPG widgets, which I've come up with. The longest slender part of the ruler is exactly the width of a base. Again, this is to help you when it comes to hurls. You can hold it over the direction of the hurl. You can see through your ruler on which models are being hit by the base that's being hurled. These are £5, same as they've always been. This is the reason I've got this one is just because I've put a new design on, because I will be doing these designs for the league opener. So that'll be the Scour and the Cheshire 2018. Again, these will be on pre-order to collect at the event, or you can have them posted. And then the second thing, some of you guys who came in July to the Scour and the Cheshire will remember these were in the freebie bag, which is basically almost identical to the widget, except it's just a clear ruler, but it's still very handy for, you got your 6-inch marks on it, it's got inch increments, and it's clear plastic, the same width of the base, so you can, you know, use it for hurls and sorceress blasts and work out what's what. So they were the ones that were given away in the goodie bags the last scouring. This scouring will be no different, exactly the same, except obviously it's 2018. These seem to get a lot of attention. People really like these. I've seen a lot of people using them after the fact because they come in very handy. So what I can do for these, anyone who wants one of these rulers, these are £3.50, or if you come to any of my tournaments, you will get one of these with the branding of whatever tournament it is on it, free in your goodie bag. But if you're not able to make the events, you know, I don't want any of you to miss out, so you can purchase these for £3.50. So these ones are £3.50. The ones with the 3-inch and the 40mm marker for cav bases, etc., are £5, and the rings are £10, and the quarter rings are £8. So that's it really. Let me know via email or Facebook. You can message me on Facebook or email toptablewargaming@gmail.com if you're interested, and I'll put a pre-order up. Like I say, I'm no longer doing what I used to do and getting stock in. I haven't got the space for it, to be honest. That's basically it. So if you want some, let me know as soon as, because I will be placing an order very soon, and I will get the order sorted and sent out to you, or I will see you at a upcoming tournament where you can collect them off me. And that's it, guys. So keep on gaming, and I will see you all soon. Take care.